name is Brian Imus. I serve as the executive director for Illinois Green Alliance. I have the opportunity to kick off this exciting webinar with all of you to share our new 5-year strategic plan, Scaling High Performance in Illinois. As we get started, I want to take a moment just to extend a huge thank you to our staff and to our board leadership who spent a lot of time pulling together this new strategic plan. As the staff, we're very excited to share with you our vision for the next 5 years, the work that we plan to do this year in particular to make sure that we're able to make that vision a reality. And then most importantly, we really want to share with you all how you can plug into this work, because at the end of the day, Illinois Green's success is only made possible because of the members of Illinois Green Alliance and the broader community of building industry professionals that connect with us. So really excited to just share a little bit more about the work that we do. Let me start by just providing a little context on the history of the organization and who we are. I think most people are familiar. It's a network of building industry experts who are passionate about green building. You may not be aware that our founding 25 years ago was really inspired and launched when there were a number of architects, product manufacturers, real estate professionals, contractors who all came together to help build the Center for Green Technology and make that the very first LEED Platinum municipal building in the world. That's the building that you see down there, and that actually served as Illinois Green's very first office way back then. That helped to launch and inspire a lot of those building professionals to say, we need an organization with a mission to promote green buildings everywhere in the state of Illinois. And the organization has grown over time, thinking about how we can leverage carbon drawdown strategies to be able to reach more communities and impact more buildings. About 5 years ago, our membership and our board of directors felt like we've built this amazing network of building professionals. We need a North Star to really give focus to all of the work that we do and to make a huge impact. And we got around the idea that we wanted to make sure that every single building in Illinois by 2050 was a high performance building. And our strategic plan 5 years ago was all about laying the foundation to make that happen. Since then, we've made huge strides launching new signature education events like the Getting to Zero Tech Forum. And we launched a brand new resource to help industry professionals, owners, and operators find trusted advice around technology and how to finance their projects, the Building Energy Hub. We have expanded our capacity to implement new green building policy by matching the expertise of building professionals with policymakers, and that actually has helped craft two statewide climate laws that are helping now to implement more green buildings in the state of Illinois. And our community outreach expanded through projects like the Illinois Green Schools Project, which has helped empower over the last 5 years 5,700 students and 500 teachers, faculty, and school staff to take action in their own community. That's a great foundation. We're really proud of all the work that we did over the last 5 years. But of course, that work was made possible, and our secret sauce to all of the impact that we make is that membership. And so I want to turn it now over to the illustrious Katie Kaluzny to share with you our next 5-year plan and how you can get plugged in.
Thank you so much, Brian. I'm really excited to share the next strategic plan. I used to work in that office building that Brian shared earlier in the slides, and it's been really wonderful to see the organization grow over the many years we've been involved. I want to thank the board and staff who worked so hard over the last year to really build on the strategic plan and build this new plan. Our new strategic plan is grounded in the belief that high performance buildings improve health, lower cost, strengthen communities, and help Illinois meet its climate goals. This new plan is reflecting a shift from proving what's possible, which we've done over the years, to scaling what works and reaching more people across the state. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the four different strategies that we'll be working on. I'm going to share a little bit about each of them, and then you're going to hear from our staff as well. So this plan is about scaling solutions, and Illinois Green's role is to connect people, knowledge, and best practices to advance policy, reach all building professionals, and so that high performance buildings become the norm and not the exception. And so I'm going to jump into the first strategy, which is championing high performance building practices, which we've been doing from the start. But really, education is the foundation of market transformation, and that's what we've been working on over the last 25 years. High performance practices are achievable today, but we need to scale them and have more people involved in those projects. New technologies are playing a role to advance decarbonization, and we are sharing that through all of our different education programs throughout the year. We are the go-to resource in the state for equipping building professionals, policymakers, and communities, and we're really excited to share those tools, and you'll be hearing about some of those tools throughout the webinar today. If you want to go to the next. Another way that we move things forward is by supporting building policies. We know that policy works best when it's informed by real-world expertise. We have industry engagement through all of our members, all of you joining the webinar today, that helps strengthen both the policy itself and the implementation of that, where those policies are adopted. And these local successes help build momentum for statewide impact. So we're really thankful to have all of you that have supported green building policy throughout the year, and you're going to learn a little bit more about how you can continue to do that in the coming years. And then this is one that's a little bit of a deeper dive from our previous strategic plan. We're working on resolving all the different barriers to high performance building over the last several years. And this next 5 years, we're going to be really zeroing in on sustainable investment strategies, looking at cost barriers, looking at ROI, looking at the different costs of different systems on high performance practices. And so we're excited to dive deeper into the financial resources we have, show examples that build market confidence, and really show that sustainability and financial performance can go hand in hand. And then our last pillar or strategy for this strategic plan is engaging professionals across all of Illinois. We are the Illinois Green Alliance, and we know statewide impact requires engagement from every corner of Illinois. So we're going to be working really hard over the next 5 years through programs, initiatives, and our network to build sectors throughout the state. We know that growth happens through relationships and trust, so we're looking to build partnerships in all corners of the state. And we know that our amazing network of professionals is how we have grown to where we have today. And so we'll be working and relying on that network to continue to build over the next 4 years. So on the next, you're going to hear about the supporting initiatives. I'm going to turn it over to my amazing staff and colleagues to share what we're working on in 2026. We only have 30 minutes for this webinar, so you're going to get a sampling of the projects that we're working on. I'm excited to see about the ways that you can get involved in this work. And then we'll share some more at the end on some of our additional strategies as well. But if you have any questions for the team or about the initiatives we're sharing, please feel free and use the Q&A and we'll reply as we go. We'll have the chat open to share links about all of the programs as well. So to kick us off, I'm going to turn it over to Rimjim to share a little bit about the Building Energy Hub.
Thank you, Katie. Hi, everyone. My name is Rimjim Agrawal, and I manage one of the programs at Illinois Green called the Building Energy Hub. The Building Energy Hub is Illinois' centralized resource center for resources that help make buildings more efficient, resilient, and compliant with requirements as they're changing. The hub offers clear solutions and guidance for primarily commercial and multifamily buildings across Illinois. And we have resources for all levels of experience and expertise, whether you're someone who's just getting started with energy efficiency and wants to explore what are the pathways, or if you're someone who's pursuing higher level decarbonization planning and wants to explore pathways for planning, implementation, monitoring, etc. We also curate resources by your role with the building. So if you're a building owner, property manager, contractor, policymaker, or architect or engineer, we have specific resources that are catered to your role, and there's tailored entry points that curate those specific resources that are most relevant for your role and projects that you can pursue with your building. Next slide, please. The Building Energy Hub aims to be a one-stop repository for all resources pertaining to what's required in Illinois and specific local areas, what's possible, what's been done, and what are examples of actual success stories where people have pursued energy efficiency in their buildings. So we have a lot of resources and guides that are step-by-step tools that guide you through planning, concept, implementation, and monitoring. These are really helpful for anyone who's just getting started or like wants to be on step one, but also someone who wants to be on step three and really pursue those larger implementations, and takes you through key questions to ask, what considerations you should have, and what your team should be considering and asking each other. One of the important things and important missions of the Building Energy Hub is to make information more simplified, accessible, and digestible. So one of the great examples of doing this is our funding and financing guide, because we know that financing can be a massive barrier in buildings that are trying to pursue energy efficiency but are not able to. So we've curated financing tools and opportunities from different agencies like federal and state agencies, utilities, and collated those grants, loans, rebates, and incentives into one platform that organizes them by building sector, so that if you're a nonprofit or a religious building who's looking for a financing opportunity and wants to pursue building energy efficiency, they can go into that guide and find specific financing opportunities that they're eligible for, and find all of the key information you need, such as like what is the process to apply, or what is the amount of financing available, and make that information really easy to access and not have to go through multiple websites, which can be confusing. We also, one of the important things we do is feature case studies, because it's really important to show how is the work being done, what are real world challenges, how do the resources and guides translate into real world buildings, and what were the outcomes for people who pursued these projects. So I encourage you to explore those case studies, because a lot of this is already being done across Illinois, and just being familiar with buildings in your community that are already pursuing this, or teams in your community that have done the work, can be really helpful in taking that first step or learning more about energy efficiency. Next slide, please. So if you're just learning about the Hub for the first time, or you've known about us and are already involved, we're really excited to share some of the ways you can get more involved with us. We have a fantastic podcast called the Building Energy Pod, which features experts and practitioners who share real world challenges, who share their experiences in pursuing energy efficiency and best practices as well. We have a newsletter, which is a great way to stay up to date with new tools and resources and education programs, both live and on demand, that we feature financing opportunities, resource overviews, decarbonization pathways, and new education and training resources. I invite you all to explore our website, where all of our resources are featured, and explore what's relevant to your role, or share it with someone else that you know would benefit from this. And if you know of a building or project that you would like the Hub to feature, or you think could be beneficial for our audience, please share that with us as well. I'm excited for you to join us at our next program. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Ryan.
Thanks, Jim. I'm Ryan Wilmington. I'm the Policy and Communications Associate at Illinois Green. And I first want to talk about how proud I am of our state and our community here, helping Illinois become one of the leaders in climate and building policy. regardless of what has been happening at the federal level. And it's not an exaggeration to say that with the help of this community, our state has become one of the best in the nation on this. We've passed massive policies like the Future Energy Jobs Act, the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, and the Clean and Reliable Grid Act just recently in this October. And these have really kickstarted the energy transition across the state. But at the same time, we know there is still plenty of work to do. Uh, while we've making great strides in putting resources into incentives and job training and renewable resources and permitting reform, there is still plenty to do. Buildings are still responsible for over 30% of our greenhouse gas emissions. And when you're factoring in our electricity use, buildings are the biggest polluter across the state. So, in order to really tackle this problem, buildings and policy to support green buildings are going to be what makes the difference. And to do that, we have to make sure that uh, our policies that we pass are implemented effectively and we continue to take more action as new challenges like data centers and rising energy costs continue to rise. So that's why we launched the Illinois Clean Building Commitment. Uh, while we were working in the city of Evanston, as they considered two massive local policies to tackle this challenge, stretch energy codes and building performance standards, we realized that supporting these communities was going to take a lot more effort than we initially thought. We dealt with large information gaps and even misinformation. Policymakers didn't have the resources they needed to make an educated decision. Building owners and property managers were fearful about how these would affect their buildings. And also, even people in the city who supported climate action were concerned that costs and displacement might affect them. But we realized at the same time that our members can play a key role in addressing these concerns and challenges and become champions for clean building policy. Members like Len Scaria from FAR Associates joined the city council to talk about how their work supports affordability while also supporting climate. Uh, Chris Dillion took policymakers on a tour to let them see firsthand how clean buildings work and operate, and why he, as a developer, actually prefers to build to a higher standard. And many others took other actions too. And together, with their support, we were able to pass first in the state climate policies in the city. But following this victory, we realized that if we were running into these challenges in a community that has the resources that Evanston has, other communities are going to be even harder to support, which is why we launched the Illinois Clean Building Commitment. Our goal for this is to find the next communities who are considering climate action at specifically towards buildings, meeting them where they're at, and helping them with whatever they need to take action, whether that's providing basic education, providing technical support to help them through these different challenges, but most importantly, building the bridge between our members in the building industry, advocates and community leaders, and policymakers. And we're going to need a lot of support throughout these efforts, mainly in helping share your voice, your work, and your incredible experience as leaders in this field. So, with your support, we want to talk to as many community leaders as we can, uh, take them on tours of green buildings, and share all of the incredible reasons why green buildings should be the standard and not the exception. So, there's plenty of ways to do that. First and foremost, you can sign up for our policy newsletter where I'll keep you updated on any big changes. We also have a monthly policy meeting where we discuss the different opportunities going on in the policy space and how people in the industry can get involved. And also, if you want to connect directly with your local leaders, please reach out to me and I will help you do that. Next, I want to pass it to our amazing Green Schools Project lead, Twyla.
Thank you, Ryan. Hi, everyone. My name is Twyla Neely-Strite, and I'm a program associate at Illinois Green, and I manage our Illinois Green Schools project. In order to truly champion high performance building practices and engage all our building professionals across Illinois, we need to prove that sustainability can be accomplished anywhere and by anyone. We need to activate building professionals as sustainability champions and help others become champions as well. That's why our Illinois Green Schools project is so important. IGSP is an annual sustainability action and recognition program for K through 12 schools throughout Illinois. And we help educators engage students and school stakeholders in hands-on projects that improve health, efficiency, and environmental impacts of their schools. So schools participating in the program receive one-on-one guidance and mentorship from a sustainability professional from our membership, and are guided through a three-part assessment and design framework that we developed that we call the Sustainability Workbook. It includes a self-assessment focused on whole school sustainability, a building walkthrough, and a project outline template to help them design a project that is unique to their school's needs and capacities. Schools can apply for up to $1,000 of funding to help cover project costs, and they also receive free access to professional development opportunities focused on classroom sustainability. And at the end of the year, we host a virtual end of the year awards ceremony, and we gift each school a personalized project one-pager to help them share their stories with their own communities. So over the course of the program, we've supported 110 schools and more than 5,000 students in sustainability projects. This year, we have about 20 schools in the program working with mentors to take action on the projects that they are designing through the Sustainability Workbook. So this year, we have schools replacing old emergency lights with LEDs and installing rain gardens to mitigate flooding and runoff, and starting composting pilots, just to name a few from this year. And by providing educators with support, guidance, opportunity, education, and importantly, a platform, we develop relationships and the enthusiasm needed to transform our communities across Illinois and pass the torch directly to local community leaders. To pass that torch, we need more schools involved. We always welcome members to work as Green Schools mentors to volunteer with us, but we can only activate as many mentors as we have schools in the program. So if you have a connection to an Illinois school, live near a school, or want to take a moment to research and identify a school that you think might be ready to start pursuing sustainability, you can sign up to be a school recruitment volunteer on our website, and we'll send you some information and language that you can use to help us spread the word. And as I mentioned, we'll be hosting our annual virtual Green School celebration in May to showcase this year's projects and to celebrate everyone's hard work. So be on the lookout for that event to go live sometime this month, and feel free to tune in and celebrate everyone's hard work. And now we're going to have Miranda share a little bit more about our broader education work.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miranda Wright. I'm the Senior Program Manager here at Illinois Green. Today, I'm just going to walk you through what education we're doing, what we have our sights on, and how our education offerings are growing to match our strategic plan pillars that you see here on the left. So to start us off, I just wanted to start with the things that we are doing and will continue to do because we know them and we love them. And those are such things as our very accessible and varied content of our webinars. These webinars throughout the year, majority of them are put on with our program committee volunteers, which is amazing, and I think is a great way to hit on all of the different different pieces of education that Illinois Green and the built environment touch. So we'll continue doing those, as well as our in-person events, such as our building tours or our half-day education conferences, such as summits, tech forums, or our new event this year, Retrofit Showcase. Ooh, intrigue. We will continue doing these because we think they are providing a service to our members and to our community at large, and bringing education where I think it helps. And so These items, though, you might see this year will start to have a focus on financing resources. In our webinars, maybe even in our tour discussions, we'll be trying to highlight financing as much as possible as a through thread of all of these education providings. Also, some of these building tours really hope to start spreading building tours around the state, creating Illinois Green networks in major metropolitan areas outside the Chicagoland area. And we think building tours are a great place to do that because we know there are great high performance buildings throughout Illinois to celebrate and get more eyes on it. But I wanted to take this time to highlight some of the other opportunities I hope to spend more time on this year, working with volunteers and passionate members to build out. This year, I would like to look at smaller convenings of working groups, roundtables, or workshops. We facilitate a few specialized industry workshops, and we hope to expand these efforts as we find these conversations are more focused, a little bit more intimate, and a great place to learn and work towards a specific goal. Additionally, I just want to highlight the importance of partnerships and organizations. We are not the only one talking about sustainability in the built environment. There are so many great organizations out there that are also putting on great education. And it's important that we work as a team. You know, we convening different knowledge groups together only makes us stronger. So we hope to continue doing that through workshops with USGBC or FIAS webinars or tech forum with manufacturers. You know, we understand that bringing everyone in only rises all boats. And so finally, I just want to plug, how do you all help with our education throughout the year? Clearly, I want to always emphasize the importance of volunteering for our program committee. That committee opens in October every year, so it'll be later in the fall that you can volunteer for that, as well as submitting a program proposal. That will be opening, call for proposals opens in September. And then lastly, I just want to ask that you share, whether that's sharing your projects for building tours, for case studies. We're only able to talk and spread awareness about best practices if you all, the professionals, tell us what's happening, what your wins are, what your challenges are, etc. Also sharing your networks. Who do you know that, especially outside the Chicagoland area, that's focused on high performance, that's doing good work that we should know about, they should know about us, etc. Please feel free to share those. And then knowledge gaps. Again, we're only able to highlight the challenges and the barriers that exist in the real world through our members conversing with us and telling us what's happening and what needs to be known to fill these knowledge gaps. So feel free to reach out and work with us, email me, LinkedIn, etc., all those things. Please feel free. So I'll be passing it back to Katie to wrap us up today.
Thanks so much, Miranda. And thanks to Rimjim, Ryan, Twyla, as well for sharing the initiatives, programs, and plans that you're focused on this year, and the ways that all of you can get involved. As I mentioned before, there's plenty more in store for 2026 and beyond, but I hope this gives you a sampling of the projects that you can see from us and that you can get excited about in the coming year. We'll also be sharing links in a follow-up email for all the things that were put in the chat and mentioned here today, so you don't have to save all of those links. But there's more. Not only are those the initiatives we shared, but there are a lot of other opportunities to get involved and support the strategic work that we are working on this year. There are just a few ways. I'm going to talk about a few of them and then share a little bit more on some future slides. So becoming a member, attending our events, joining a committee, volunteering, becoming a policy advocate. You heard a lot about those kind of throughout the session today. Also, there's ways to support our work financially by sponsoring or as an individual. So I'm going to want to send a couple of thank yous for those that have supported our work along the way, including our Leadership Circle members. Thank you for all of our individual Leadership Circle members for their financial support to our work. It truly takes a village to move this work forward, as you all have heard, and so we appreciate the dedication and commitment to Illinois Green over the years. And same goes for our sustaining sponsors. Their work over the years, especially our gold level sponsors, ComEd, Sloan, and USGBC, supporting our work in many years, and especially this year as we launch this new strategic plan. If your organization is interested in supporting our work this year or in a future year, we'll be sharing our sponsorship opportunities and benefits with you as well. And then finally, our upcoming events. We have a lot of events. There's probably 50 plus events we have in design for this year. We have some upcoming events, which you'll see in our newsletters that come out every other Wednesday. And then we also want you to save the date for some of our bigger events that we have later in the year. They're on this slide as well, including our annual meeting and limelight celebration, which will be combined this year and happen in November. So make sure to note that for your calendars. And then finally, I just want to thank you. Thank the board for all of their work on this plan and supporting our strategy, the staff and our members for shaping this strategic plan as well. And we look forward to working with you all to continue scaling this through the next 5 years. And we finished in 30 minutes. So thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon, and we look forward to working with you on this throughout the year. Have a good one.